Hello everyone. Today I'll make a quick video about the flight stands that I use in Mate for our gaming here. I've gotten a few inquiries, so I'll go through the different stands and I've gone through some different iterations and evolutions, so I'll show you the different versions that I have as well. So to start off with, here's the American one. I was going to paint an American flag, but I didn't have the talent to do that yet. But this one holds 3 planes. Here's a quick one in Wake Island. It's 2. And the main countries are made with a wooden half sphere. And I paint them, prime them, paint them, drill a hole in the bottom. Because my board is made of magnets, or my board is made of metal. So I put a magnet in the bottom so the stands stick to the boards. And one thing I found out as well is that for kind of the major countries, even some of the minors here like Anzac, they typically end up with a lot of planes. So I put a lot of the stands of the wires on. In some of the earlier ones like Japan, I didn't put enough wires because I only have 2 on that one. But you can see here this is the Anzac one. And over here we have Sire Blood's kamikaze dice that I ordered, which look great on the board. Here's the Japanese one. And as I said, I'll probably add a couple wires to this one because the Japanese end up with a lot of planes. But that's the Japanese one on a half wood sphere. There's a 3 in the background, a couple 1s, 2s. Again, the Japanese have a lot of planes, so they end up using a lot of the stands. I'll probably make one for the Chinese as well, dedicated one. That's the Boeing pea shooter that I ordered off of Shapeways and painted. One thing we also use too, we use trucks for 3 to count as 3 guys because just makes it easier that way. You don't have so many pieces on the board. This is the biggest one that I made. It's a 9, and this comes in handy when the Germans load up with airplanes. This one will get full later in the game. This is the latest one I made, and it's the Far East. And I tried something different on this one. I used a 3/4 inch clear sphere, plastic sphere. Drilled out the bottom, of course, and then before I glued it all together, I printed out on paper the flags, and then glued this sphere to the paper. And then I put this plastic cover on so that it doesn't scratch my metal board, and then drilled in a little hole and put that magnet there to hold it to the board. And again, you can see like these planes are stuck on there pretty well. Up here we have the Russians. I probably won't add a wire to the Russians. Maybe I'll add 1, but it works pretty well. And you can see we use transports. So that's the Russian transport back there on a single. Here's the German one. The Brits up there. The Italians in North Africa. And then there's a little swordfish down here. And one thing I did on my swordfish too is this is pretty crazy, but I drilled out the plastic for the biplane. And you can see here too that half sphere drilled out. And the hardest part about making these is probably putting together the little white holder at the top. So it's 2 pieces of plastic tubing, and I glue them together, and then I'll cut one end, put the magnet in, make sure the polarity is correct and everything so it sticks to the airplane. Then I glue that little piece together. Once it's dried up, I glue it to the wire, and then I'll cut the wire to the right length, drill a hole in the top of the plastic sphere, and super glue it in. It takes a little bit of time, but once you get like an assembly line going, they go pretty quickly. So if you have any questions, let me know. But that's kind of the basics of these flight stands, and they work pretty well. I'll probably make another 9er or something like that soon, because again, we do, I about have enough, but we still run out of them occasionally. So I hope this helps. Cheers.